Good afternoon everyone, my name is Cameron Mills and I'm here today to talk about my project proposal, which is an InterVarsity futsal tournament which will be planned, organised and facilitated by us Diploma of Sport Development students with assistance from myself. Throughout the course of this presentation I'll talk through the purpose of the project, the key deliverables that will come out of it, the milestone dates that we will need to meet, of course the project budget, and the costs that will be involved, the assumptions and risks, the project controls and reporting structure, and then I'll finish with the closing summary. We provide education and training to enable our learners to become work ready, life ready and world ready. This is the first line of Homes End's mission statement, which is plastered on their strategic plan on the website. It's very public. This is the heart of my whole project proposal. By supporting our Diploma of Sport Development students to be able to run their own event, their own InterVarsity sporting tournament like this one, we can rest assured that another cohort, another class of Homes End students will leave here having gained real life, genuine experience that is desirable from employers as well. That's a key point to focus on. On top of this, it also has the potential to incorporate multiple different faculties throughout the Homes End community, making it a truly all of Homes End event. Faculties like hospitality, they can run the Homes End branded food cart to provide catering for the event. Remedial massage students can do recovery massages for athletes and competitors at the event. Sports media students can come out, they can do interviews, they can do stories, they can make little short videos. We really have a lot of sort of scope to sort of widen this out to involve a whole array of Homes End students, and that's not even touching on them having teams and just competing in it as well. So the key deliverables of this will include the gradable assessments and feedback. So the gradable assessments will come from the form of sponsorship proposals, operational plans, risk assessments. All of these items will be created and done by the students so they can get a taste of what it's like to run an event, and they'll be marked on it as well and form part of their coursework. The feedback will come in the form of post-event surveys that will be sent out to team organisers from the other institutes that are involved in the event, and also participant feedback which will be gathered in person on the day of the event through short interviews and surveys as well. This is really going to help shape future events, as it is hoped that this will become an annual occurrence. The key milestone dates, they might be a little bit hard to see up on the screen here, but you should have them all in front of you as well. This involves the actual agreement from Anthony Buemo, who's a senior lecturer of lifestyle, which includes the Diploma of Sport Development, and myself agreeing to sort of the terms of the project and having a bit of an outline for ourselves to work off of. It includes getting our sponsors on board, which are Michaela Hosking, Manager of Student Engagement and Success, and Suzanne McKinnon, who is the Executive Director of Student Engagement. The assessment criteria will be created by Anthony. Venue booking, team registration, marketing collateral made, these are all going to be made by the students. As you can see, we're falling a little bit behind date on them, but they have been completed now. And now we're sort of on track again to get our sponsorship deal, catering arranged, remedial massage students booked, which has actually been done and is ahead of schedule, and booking an MC and then closing registrations, which will happen closer to the time of the event. Again, the budget might be a little bit hard to see, but just refer to the sheets in front of you. You can see a breakdown of all the expected costs and incomes for the event here. That includes having an account of the court hire, referee costs, catering, a DJ and MC for the event, and obviously the trophies for the winners, and the highest goal scorer. So with all of this, the event is expected to cost Homes End out of pocket just under $700. That is, of course, if we reach the expected level of participation and the expected sponsorship income. Nonetheless though, even if one or both of those targets are not met perfectly, we do have some sort of contingencies in place where we can sort of help mitigate the costs and the risks involved. So that could be not getting a DJ MC, and as it currently stands, we are providing free catering, free lunch to all participants, but of course we can always open that up and charge a slight cost to recover the costs involved with the food, which I'm sure the students would be fine with as well. Yeah. So the assumptions and risks. So one of the big risks that have involved, or the big assumptions, are the unknown. So that includes a white space risk. So that's basically the risk of any activity that hasn't been identified in advance of the project and is missing from our project plan. So obviously it's hard to put in a contingency plans in place for something you have not planned for, but it is vital that we spend a lot of thought in this space and sort of remain flexible in the case that something has been found to be overlooked. Student capabilities is another big one. We really do not know how well prepared the students will be to take on a task of this size, and obviously this will be a recurring theme since the sport development course is a one-year course. Every new cohort of students that come in are going to have completely different strengths and weaknesses. While it might get easier to run year on year due to sort of developing a base in the first few years, the student cohort is always going to be different, and it's always going to be completely unexpected what their abilities will be like. So that's something we'll have to factor in. Funding, that's a very common constraint in all projects, and it's obviously no difference here. The reason we're asking for a little bit of a subsidy for this event is just so that we can get it off to a really good start, and then in future there is the capacity for the TREV network to provide funding. So for those who don't know, TREV is Tertiary Recreation and Events Victoria. So they're basically made up of all tertiary institutes within Victoria, and they fund events of this nature. And so there is obviously the option for us to apply for funding for this in the future, but we're just short on time to do that this year. The opportunity risks, obviously that could include whether futsal is the ideal sport to run this intervarsity tournament. Maybe another sport might be more popular, maybe netball, maybe badminton, it could be anything. But that's part of what we'll sort of decide through the feedback, and that'll be a question that we definitely ask the students that get involved and also the team organisers. And then the risk of not running the event. This is a really important one to focus on. So basically, we might become less desirable for potential students in the future. And the reason I say this is because Box Hill, their Diploma of Sport Development students, they already run an InterVarsity sport tournament, which is the InterVarsity Basketball Championships. So if a potential student sort of looks at that and sort of sees that as a really key sort of attraction that will bring them into Box Hill, if we don't have something similar, that really, if we get less students, that's a half lot of what we do. So that's not ideal. So we really need to do this to sort of keep pace with our competitors. So here is a bit of the roles in the working group that has been formed already. Obviously we have project sponsors in Suzanne McKinnon and Michaela Hosking. They'll obviously be less hands-on, but they will be very vital in supporting us nonetheless. The project owner, Anthony Buemo, who I mentioned before, is the senior lecturer of the lifestyle area. Project manager is myself, and then we've got the working team, which is a sport development team, sport development students. But on top of that, we also have decided that we've announced a general manager from within that sport development class, which is Dominic Bolden. He's really stepped up and has taken on a bit of a leadership role there. So he'll sort of report directly to the project manager and the project owner on the workings of the rest of the group. In closing, you might notice that I have, again, our mission statement here. This is not a mistake, it's not an oversight, it's not a lazy copy and paste error, but I just really want to end on this note. We provide education and training to enable our learners to be work ready, life ready, and world ready. This is the heart of everything. This is the reason why we can't afford not to do this project. It's not a matter of why should we do it, it's a matter of why shouldn't we do it and why haven't we done it already. This really is much needed. It's really going to help put Home Zone on the map. As I mentioned before, it's going to be a whole of Home Zone event. It's going to be Home Zone branded everywhere. There's going to be hundreds of people in attendance seeing the Home Zone brand and seeing our students on display, which will be other students, it will be teachers, it will be external sponsors. It's really just going to be really big for the whole brand and for our students as well. But most importantly, it's for our students, because it's the heart of what we do. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate all your time and consideration for this project proposal, and I look forward to working with you further in the future. Thank you.